Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 27th of February. Denmark's royal couple meets Indian Foreign Minister in New Delhi. Activists in Germany highlight Pakistani atrocities in Balochistan. And communist rift plunges Nepal's ruling coalition into crisis. And now for all the details. Denmark's Crown Prince Frederik and Princess Mary met Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar in New Delhi on Monday to boost bilateral ties between the two countries. Jaishankar on Twitter said he shared with them various aspects of the new India in making. The conversation covered sustainability and digital delivery in particular, he said. The royal couple, who are on a 4-day visit, also paid floral tributes at the memorial of Indian freedom movement leader Mahatma Gandhi. This is the first royal visit from Denmark to India in 2 decades. India and Denmark share warm relations and their ties elevated to green strategic partnership in the year 2020. Well, moving on, over 24 Pakistanis were believed to be among more than 60 people who drowned on Sunday when a boat carrying migrants to Europe crashed against rocks near a southern Italian coast. In a statement, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz said reports of the drowning of Pakistanis in the boat tragedy are deeply concerning and worrisome. He said he had directed the Foreign Office to ascertain facts and take the nation into confidence. Italian authorities have said at least 81 people survived the Sunday's accident, with 20 of them hospitalized. The wooden boat, which sailed from Turkey, is said to have carried at least 150 people from Iran, Syria, Pakistan and Afghanistan trying to seek refuge in the European country. Turkey is part of one of the most used routes for human smugglers to smuggle migrants into Europe, with Italy being the main landing points for those trying to enter Europe by sea. And with militants waging a fresh assault on Pakistan's police from hideouts in the border region adjoining Taliban-controlled Afghanistan, the security forces have been pushed to dozens of outposts for their defense. Provincial police in Khyber-Pakhtunkhwa, which is considered a hotbed for militants of TTP, the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, say that the force is suffering increasing losses as it bears the brunt of insurgent attacks while contending with resourcing and logistical constraints. Sarband and its 8 outposts bordering the militant-infected region have also suffered 4 major attacks in recent months and snipper fire with unprecedented frequency, according to the police base there.
सबसे बड़ा मसला जो है ना ये नफरी थोड़ी कम है ना तो इस वजह से और एक असला और गोले बारूद और ये चीज़ें तो हमारे पास बहुत है पीछे नीचे कोत है और वहाँ पर असला तो काफ़ी पड़ा है अफसरान भी हमारे हौसला अफजाई के लिए आते हैं लेकिन ये है कि ये चूँकि टारगेट इलाका है और हम बिल्कुल face to face इनके साथ.
TTP, which ended the ceasefire in November 2022 and restarted attacks in Pakistan soon after, are now spread in smaller groups across the country and among the civilian population, instead of operating from bases in former tribal areas. This has made the police, not the military, facing the brunt from terror attacks. Pakistani officials acknowledge these challenges but say they are trying to improve the capability of the forces amid adverse economic circumstances.
Do the police need more resources? They absolutely do. We've tried to make additional resources available to them at the worst particular time of financial constraint.
Moving on, gross human rights violations by Pakistan have continued unabated in Balochistan. Activists in Germany highlighted the issue of enforced disappearances in the region and the arrest of a woman named Mehal Baloch earlier this month, the whereabouts of whom are still unknown.
Members of the Baloch National Movement staged protests in Germany over the past weekend against enforced disappearances in Balochistan and the arrest of a woman named Mehal Baloch by Pakistani forces on February 17 on fake charges of planning a suicide bombing. The protesters said Pakistan is targeting Baloch women in order to suppress the political voices in the region, but they will continue their struggle for independence from the occupying forces. They urged the European Union to review its policies towards Pakistan over the rights violations.
Pakistan, and it is the duty of the world that they should ask the Pakistan, they should question Pakistan about the gross human rights violation in Balochistan.
Rights activists have long blamed thousands of Baloch people have been killed or arbitrarily detained for raising voices against Pakistan's atrocities and CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Ethnic Baloch guerrillas have also been fighting the Pakistan government for decades for a separate state, saying Islamabad, along with China, has been unfairly exploiting Balochistan's rich gas and mineral resources under the garb of CPEC.
In news from Nepal, KP Sharma Oli led CPN-UML on Monday withdrew its support to the government of Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal, a move which has now forced him to take a vote of confidence within 30 days. Dahal infuriated the UML by pledging support for the opposition Nepali Congress Party's presidential candidate Ramchandra Paudel. PM Dahal had earlier agreed to support a UML candidate for the presidency, according to politicians in the coalition. 4 ministers, including a deputy prime minister from another coalition partner, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, also quit the government over the weekend due to the same issue. Nestled between China and India, Nepal has seen 11 governments since it abolished its 239-year monarchy in 2008 and became a republic. Political instability has scared investors and held back growth of its $40 billion economy. And moving on, thousands of members of the National People's Power Party in Sri Lanka were dispersed by police during a mass protest in the capital Colombo on Sunday as they demanded the local government election be held as scheduled next month. Police were seen firing tear gas over the protesters. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is also the finance minister, has refused to release funds to the Election Commission, saying that funds were available only for essential items due to the current economic crisis. The island nation planned to hold local government polls on 9th of March, but they have been put on hold and a fresh date will be announced on 3rd March, the poll body has said. Sri Lanka entered a preliminary agreement with the International Monetary Fund in September last year for a $2.9 billion bailout, but has to put its debts on a sustainable track before funds can be dispersed. Well, an eatery has opened in the central Indian city of Indore with dogs as the special customers in mind. The Doggy Dhaba offers home delivery for its clients and also provides lodging options for dogs whose owners are working or have to leave town for a few days. Take a look.
India's central Indore city has went up a notch in the list of pet lovers' favourite cities as it opened a restaurant cum bakery, Doggy Dhaba, for dogs. Indore resident Balraj Jhala came up with this initiative along with his team, including his wife, during the coronavirus lockdown, when limited resources and accessibility became an obstacle for pet parents and caretakers to feed them. Dogs of several breeds were seen wagging their tails at the restaurant.
जैसे लॉकडाउन लगा तो लोग घरों में उनको खाना नहीं मिला तो हम उनको खाना भी सप्लाई करते थे. मेरी टीम ने, वो मैं भी करता हूँ, मेरी टीम भी करती थी. उसके अलावा जैसे स्ट्रीट डॉग वगैरह का खाना, उसके अलावा जो डॉग्स जो पेट्स पालते हैं उनके लिए भी अपना टिफिन सर्विस चालू करी अपन ने. जैसे फूड रहता है उसके लिए बेकरी भी बनाते हैं. बेकरी में केक कट बनाते हैं डॉग्स के, क्योंकि डॉग का अकॉर्डिंग हमारा ढाबा इसी नाम मैंने कि इंसानों के लिए सभी खोलते हैं, लेकिन अपन ने एक ऐसी पहल करी है कि डॉग्स के लिए भी, कोई इनके लिए भी होना चाहिए.
The restaurant offers home delivery for its clients who cannot physically visit. The Doggy Dhaba also provides lodging options for dogs whose parents are working or have to leave town for a few days. Although India is coming up with more and more pet-friendly cafes, it is yet to catch up with eateries that cater solely to animals.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.